Perhaps the most important of all Supreme Court First Amendment decisions is New York Times Company versus Sullivan. Decided in 1964, the decision constitutionalized libel law and saved the civil rights movement. The case began with an editorial advertisement in the spring of 1960 that detailed Southern abuses of civil rights and various violations perpetrated against students on the campus of Alabama State University in Montgomery, Alabama. Unfortunately, the editorial advertisement contained some errors, so the commissioner in charge of the police department, L.B. Sullivan, sued the New York Times for libel, and he recovered $500,000 from an Alabama state court jury. Libel refers to a tort that constitutes a false statement of fact that harms someone's reputation. Mr. Sullivan emphasized that there were certain errors in the editorial advertisement and simply sought to inhibit negative press coverage. The case went all the way up to the United States Supreme Court, and the court reversed in an opinion by Justice William Brennan, who emphasized that L.B. Sullivan was a public official. Writing for the court, Justice Brennan said that the case must be interpreted against the backdrop of a, quote, profound national commitment, that debate on public issues must be robust, uninhibited, and wide open, and may well include sharp, vehement, and unpleasantly caustic attacks upon public officials. Justice Brennan also emphasized that erroneous statement is inevitable in free debate. Justice Brennan also created a very high standard in libel cases that are brought by public officials like L.B. Sullivan. In order to recover damages for libel, a public official must show that a speaker spoke with actual malice. Actual malice is a term of art. It means that a speaker acted knowing that information was false or acted in reckless disregard as to whether the information was true or false. L.B. Sullivan could not meet that high actual malice standard. Times v. Sullivan is an important decision for at least two fundamental reasons. First, it ensured that libel laws must comport with First Amendment principles. Two, the decision was important for the civil rights movement. At the time of Times v. Sullivan, there were numerous media entities that had been sued for their unflattering coverage of Southern violators of human rights. If the Supreme Court had not ruled in favor of the New York Times, many members of the press would have been inhibited and chilled from reporting on abuses of civil rights.